Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Kings of the South podcast, an NFC South podcast. And if we seem a little tired, folks, it's because the draft has legitimately wore us out. Uh, Staying up on top of our picks, as well as the rest of the NFC South, like the Saints and the Bucks and all that. And because it's good to know your enemies, folks. It's good to know whether other teams got better and yours didn't. Shout out to you, Bucks. Uh, but first things first, I'm your man Cory. That's TJ right there. How's it going, my guy?
It's going, man. It's going. I'm here. I'm alive.
That's that's all you can ask for. That's what old folks say. They be like, "Hey, I'm here, brother. I'm here."
I'm here.
All right, y'all. Let's
Energy.
yeah. So yeah, let's not even waste time. We're just gonna go straight to it. Draft grades, man. Seeing how your Panthers had the first pick. Let's recap the Panthers draft. First pick, of course, was Bryce Young. Second pick 39, Jonathan Mingo, Ole Miss. Third pick was a little questionable, uh, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Pick 80 in the third round, outside linebacker DJ Johnson out of Oregon. Probably the sleeper pick of your draft, fourth round pick. Pick 114, Chandler Saliva. What am I doing? Zavala.
Zavala, sir.
Zavala. I know.
Zavala.
And I know it, and I knew it, but I don't know why saliva just came out of my mouth. I don't know.
Oh, you're
Hey,
trying to say saliva like the band.
oh God, please don't. Zavala out of NC State, and also rounded out with your last pick, which is also a pretty good pick, fifth round pick 145, Jamie Robinson out of Florida State, safety slash corner slash nickel slash Swiss Army knife, wherever you want to put him on the field. He can get it done. So, how you feel about your draft as a whole, there, buddy?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. 5 picks, and I feel
Mm,
like we nailed each one. Like I feel like we hit a key need at every round. We had a pick in the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And I think obviously at number one we took Bryce. I think that was the right pick. I think it was a good pick, and I think it's going to pan out, at least in my opinion. I'm a big believer in Bryce.
mm,
Uh, and then the second round, getting Mingo. We needed to get younger at receiver. We got Adam Thielen and DJ Chark, but Adam Thielen is 32. DJ Chark is on a 1 year deal. You don't really know what you have in LaVisca. You don't know what you
mm.
have in Terrace Marshall, even though Terrace Marshall has had a hell of an offseason from what I've heard. Um, you know, third round, DJ Johnson. Uh,
He-
Initially, I was like, who the hell is that?
I
And
think
then
I think
after,
everyone was saying that. I think everyone was like, "Who? What?"
yeah. And then after, watching some tape on him and kind of doing some research about
Mm,
him, he fits the scheme that Avero runs, our defensive coordinator. So he's a solid pick. He's an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher. And there's some upside there. The only concern, number one, he's very raw, but also number two, he's coming into the league as 25 years old. So
mm,
he's a little bit older in the tooth
mm-hmm.
for a college player.
Yeah, they're gonna call him Unc on the practice squad, man.
Yeah,
They're gonna
yeah.
on practices they're gonna call him Unc.
I think he has some upside though, man. He's versatile. He can put his hand in the dirt, or he can stand up and play the edge. So he's a good run stopper.
Hmm.
Um, he just needs to learn to not always try to rush the quarterback. Sometimes you got to set the edge.
Mm,
It's not always about getting sacks. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
I'm excited about him. I'm excited about his potential. I'll say.
Okay, let's talk about probably my favorite pick from you guys, barring Bryce. I want to talk Chandler Zavala. I want to talk about him
Yes.
for a second. Uh, Absolute
Yes.
steal, fourth round. Like he was looked at as a second rounder in
Yep.
almost people boards.
Yeah.
Uh, Big guard out of NC State, reunited with his guy Icky,
Mm-hmm.
Iquanu. Uh,
Yep.
and I really think that with him, let's talk about a little bit of his game. He great violent hands. When he
Hmm.
put his hands on somebody, you feel it.
Yep.
Uh, he has the ability to anchor. He has the ability to get on the move. What I did see sometimes he has inconsistent footwork, but that's something that that can be cleaned up. Something that can be worked on with his with the coaching staff, and y'all have the coaching staff to do it because Lord knows you have the affinity stones, the Infinity Gauntlet of coaches that David
Yeah.
Tepper is just wielding around with his fist, just throwing dollar bills at him. Uh, but yeah, that was probably my favorite pick by you guys. It just fit a need because uh, I, although I like Austin Corbett, you could upgrade, but also he's injured. Also, uh, you don't really want to play Brady Christensen at guard.
Mm-mm.
You don't.
Not at all.
He's not agile enough to get out on the move, and that's what I think your offensive coordinator, because he's coming from the same school of Sean McVay.
Yeah.
He wants to get his linemen out in space and move and pull
Yep.
and get to the second level. And I think with Zavala, you'll be able to accomplish that. If not this year, next year. Like I'm very high on him. His upside is uh I'm gonna say it. He could be a Pro Bowler, man. I'm just be honest. He could be a Pro Bowler. Yeah, I really like that pick.
Yeah, I love it, man. I remember texting you about it when we drafted him, and I said, "Man, I love that pick." Not just because he played at NC State. I am an NC State fan, but I watched him a lot, being an NC State fan the last 2 seasons,
Dominant.
and he played alongside Icky last year, or 2 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he and Icky, I think together on that left side can be dominant, but also too a huge stat that stood out to me. The last 2 seasons at NC State, he had over 800 pass blocks, and he had freaking one pressure given up in 2 seasons.
He's dominant, man.
That's crazy.
He's
That's crazy.
dominant.
And people might say, "Oh, the ACC is not that strong, dude." It's still the ACC. We still play
Well,
Clemson,
yeah,
Florida State,
yeah. That
Miami,
Yeah, the
UNC. I mean,
ACC had two defensive linemen go in the no three. I'm sorry, three in the first round with
yeah,
Kalijah Cansey, Miles Murphy. No, yeah, Miles Murphy. No, yeah, Miles Murphy did go first round. He
yeah,
went to the Bengals and Brian Brzee, who we'll talk about later in this episode. But yeah,
yeah,
I don't want to hear oh, he didn't play against competition. Yes, he did.
yeah, yeah,
In order to get a college scholarship and keep that scholarship, you have to be in the 5% of all football players, like young football players. You have to be up there. This is not the MEAC. This is not the SWAC. No disrespect to them, but he was playing against first rounders. He was playing against guys who's going to be playing on Sunday,
yeah,
and he didn't just hold his own. He dominated.
yeah. He was very good, and he should have been a second round pick. He fell to the fourth round, and I think it's a steal. I think he's going to beat out Christensen, especially when Corbett comes back. I think he's going to start over Christensen. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people might feel different. Corbett had a great season last year. I can't question Corbett at all. And he's in the second year of a 3-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he's able to come back from his injury this year. I'm hearing he's not going to come back till mid-season. But I do think Zavala, man, he is a future starting guard for the Panthers, and I think it's a huge asset, a huge addition. And I'm excited about it. Also, too, you know, him and Nicky play together. That level of chemistry means something on offensive line.
Yes,
I
it
know some
does.
people don't. I know some people don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff, but like chemistry matters, especially if we played together in college and now we're transitioning to the NFL together, just a year apart.
Yeah,
I, I think Icky can teach him some stuff and
yeah.
help him get comfortable.
Yeah, because you know each other's tendencies, you know what they like, you know what they don't like, you know whether or not what they're good at, what their strength, what their weaknesses is, if they're susceptible to the bull rush or swim moves, stuff like that. You'll know. You'll
Yep.
know. You know your guys. But
Yeah.
familiarity is the reason why Caleb McGarry got re-signed
Yeah.
because him and Chris Lindstrom has came in together in that draft class and they solidified the right side of that offensive line, hopefully praying that
Yeah.
he has a repeat performance or get even better this year. But yeah, I really like Zavala. Let's talk about probably will be the someone bringing the spice to your defense. He's going to be the attitude. He's going to be,
Yeah.
um, I think, going. He's going to be a great addition to that secondary. Someone who, for a secondary that is good on paper, but it's kind of depleted if you think about it. Seeing how Dante Jackson hasn't played a full season in almost 3 years. CJ Henderson is inconsistent. Who's your other guy? JC Horn hasn't played a full season in 2 years. So I feel like Jamie Robinson is a good player who has the opportunity to get better, and I feel like he wants to get better. He took it personal that he was
Oh,
drafted
yeah.
145. he he took
He
it
literally
very,
said there's not 144 guys in this draft better than me.
and that's what you need. He's going to bring an edge. He's going to bring an attitude to that secondary. That outside of when J.C. Horn went down, your defense didn't have the secondary didn't have.
Yeah.
And so you get a running mate with J.C. Horn, the attitude, the chip on the shoulders, the moxie, the swagger that you want a defensive back to have on your team. He got it.
He's a hell of a tackler. He's good in coverage.
Mhm.
And he's an underrated athlete, man. And they also played together at South Carolina before he transferred to Florida State. Him and J.C. Horn. So they
Mhm.
have a level of experience with each other. And our secondary was already fast and aggressive. Now you add him to the mix, and I think you have the potential to have one of the best secondaries in the NFC.
Mhm.
I mean, I know you still have to play the games and you still have to do it on the field, but on paper, Carolina's secondary is it's probably going to be underrated going into the season because it's Carolina. But with Avero as our DC and the guys that we've added on the defense and the guys coming back healthy, I really think the Panthers defense has the potential to repeat as a top 10 defense. And if not, honestly, I could see them finishing top 5 if they can put it all together.
Mhm.
Because I really do believe in Avero, our DC. So I'm
Mhm.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to be excited about if you are a Carolina Panthers fan. Folks, also I know, draft grades are kind of dumb because we don't know what they're gonna be yet. But
Yeah.
this is just on its face, okay? We know it's
Yeah.
stupid,
Just on the
but
surface.
yeah, but we're gonna give it to you guys because we love you, and this is what we do. We love talk about this. We talked about this off air, like
Yeah.
for like 3 hours, because this is what we love to do. So we're gonna give you a grade. So my grade for the Carolina Panthers draft class, it's in a range for me. It's either a B plus or A minus. If you
Yeah.
say A minus, I'm not going to argue with you. But if you say lower than a B plus, I'm gonna call you stupid. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
because because all you want in a draft class is to have at least you at least want one superstar, one star, and you
Yeah.
want 2 to 3 serviceable starter level players. And I think you got starter level players out of all of them, except for maybe DJ. But it's all I would say about DJ is Evero handpicked him.
Yes.
He handpicked him. He said, "This is the guy I want."
Yeah. That's one
So,
part I didn't bring up, but yeah, he was handpicked by our defensive coordinator during that draft process. And in the draft room on draft day, day two,
mm-hmm,
he wanted that guy specifically in his defense.
mm-hmm. And so this is one of those things where I will concede that NFL defensive coordinators and GMs and presidents, anyone in a NFL front office, I will concede that they're smarter than me. So this probably will work out. I don't like the pick, but who gives a damn what I think? Okay. But
Right.
yeah, but I will give them anywhere between a B plus and a A minus.
Yeah, if I was to give a straight up grade without, beating around the bush, I would say it's an A.
Mhm.
Um, I wouldn't say A plus. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the DJ Johnson pick. I got to see more out of him
Yeah.
because he didn't really do a lot in college.
Yeah, it's a lottery ticket, man. You know,
Yeah, it's a
high
lottery ticket.
you're betting on the traits, and if it pays off, ooh, buddy, you
Yeah,
got a player with his
right.
size, with his speed, with his
He's a
agility.
big boy.
Yeah. Um 6'4", 260, man. You know,
Yeah.
guys like that don't grow on trees that can run a 4.5, 4.4, you know.
Yeah. The 40 time was what got me. I was like, okay, maybe he might be a little good. He ran a 4.5, so that's
Hmm.
pretty fast for a
Hmm.
guy that weighs 260.
Yeah. But
So
yeah. So yeah, next, my Atlanta Falcons. Uh of course, as you all know, if you watched the last podcast or listened to it, you would know with the first pick, eight, first round pick, eight pick in the draft.
here we go.
We got
Here
Bijan,
we
baby.
go.
We got Bijan, running back, Texas. Uh, in the second round, we took Matthew Bergeron, offensive guard out of Syracuse, with pick 38. Uh, round three, we took a lottery ticket, just like we said about DJ Johnson. Zach Harrison, defensive end, Ohio State. Uh, fourth round, we took probably what most people are calling the steal of the draft with cornerback Clark Phillips the third, cornerback out of Utah. And if you don't know who Clark Phillips is, I need you to go online, type in 2022 All Americans. You will see his name on that list. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Uh, and rounding out with the seventh round picks, we took DeMarco Helms out of Alabama, the safety, their leading tackler, and team captain, and Javon Gwynn, center. Well, he will be a center convert, but it says offensive line. I think he played right guard, out of South Carolina. So I spoke about, I spoke ad nauseum about how much I love the Bijan Robinson pick. So I'm not gonna really get into it. Although I will say, when we roll out there this year
Oh.
and 23 personnel, we go. That's, if you don't know what 23 personnel is, that's two. The first number stands for the number of tight ends. The second number stands for the number of running backs. So we go out there and 23 personnel with Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts at the tight end spot. We have Cordero Patterson, Tyler Algier, and Bijan Robinson in the backfield. We're Desmond Ritter is on the center, so you're thinking, oh, they're about to run it. This is a run play, and then they say, you know, hot route or whatever to break it up, and Desmond Ritter goes in the shotgun. Kyle Pitts go out wide. Jonnu Smith goes out wide. Bijan goes to the slot. Cordero Patterson goes to the slot. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, that's my spiel. That's all I'm going with it. Matthew Bergeron. Um, apparently, and I will admit, when I first saw the pick, I was like, "What? Why didn't we take Brian Branch?" But then, like I said in the last pod, I started watching videos, and I'm like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be good. He's gonna be real
Yeah.
good."
Good.
He plays with an anger, with an attitude that will fit quite nicely with our offensive line. The left guard position last year was being held together by duct tape and hopes and dreams. Uh, so whenever you can get a talent like Matthew Bergeron on your offensive line, you're going to be in a good shape. And for the people who are saying, "Oh, they could have stayed where they're at, they could have traded down and get him," the Dallas Cowboys was considering taking him with their first round pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that.
He wouldn't have lasted, folks. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna let you in on that secret. That's not really a secret. The league values him more than you value him, okay? Because you're not in the front office, just like I'm
That's
not.
that's true.
So Matthew Bergeron, I love that pick. And a lot of people, I know NFL Network, well, not NFL Network, I'm sorry, NFL.com, how they do the draft profiles and who the player comps are. They compared him to Joe Batinio. And if you don't know who Joe Batinio is, he is a guard for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Uh, he's been all pro before. He's a pro bowler and one of the better guards in the league. So that's very, very high praise for this young man out of Syracuse. Canadian man.
Canadian. He's from Canada.
Yeah, he speaks fluent French.
Huh.
This is crazy to me, but hey, that's how they get down out there in Quebec. So I also want to,
Quebec.
yeah, yeah. I want to touch on third round pick, Zach Harrison, a player that you were very high on.
Yes,
Um,
I was. I wanted him to come to Carolina.
yeah, 6'6", 275 pounds, 36-inch arms, which is insane.
Yeah.
He is pretty much what you create a defensive end on in Madden.
Oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
he has low 4.5 speed at 275 pounds. Now I will say, like I said in the last podcast, he's not a finished project. He's
No.
not all the way there. He still needs some work. But with that being said, when you have Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree and Grady Jarrett, players who have led their teams in sacks year in and year out, that's a lot of experience for him to be able to get, um, as well as what Ryan Nielsen, the mad scientist, who loves projects like these. People need to remember one of his finest works as a defensive coach was the project that is Trey Hendrickson,
Yeah.
who balled out in New Orleans, went and got paid in Cincinnati, and has been balling out ever since. So if we can get that, we're golden, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
think y'all are set up for success.
mhm. So tell me what drew you to Zach Harrison when you was watching tape and watching the games.
I've watched a lot of him since he played at Ohio State. One of the bigger colleges that you see on TV.
Mhm.
Ohio State's always loaded with talent.
Mhm.
I mean, he never stood out the way a Nick Bosa would or a Joey Bosa, even a Chase Young, but
Mhm.
he has a lot of good traits. His explosiveness off the edge, his ability to set the edge against the run.
Mhm.
I mean, he's 6'6". He's a big dude. He's 36-inch arms. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
what is there not to like about him? I mean, he can stand up. He can put his hand in the dirt. He can play the run. He has all the capability to be good.
Mhm.
Um, I think with the right coaching, which I think you guys have a good DC, I think he could be better than most people are thinking he's gonna be.
Mhm.
I thought he would have fit good with Avero and our defense and Brian Burns and Derek Brown and all them boys, but
Mhm.
okay, he's in the ATL in the Georgia
Mhm.
Dome.
Know what
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah,
I know y'all don't
Mercedes.
call it the Georgia
Yeah,
Dome no more,
Mercedes
but
Benz. Yeah, yeah.
I
You
mean,
got respect the Benz, baby. You
it's
know what I'm
always Georgia
saying?
Dome to me.
Ah, man, I wish I could have
Um,
been in that stadium. God,
yeah,
the memories. But yeah,
I
I'll,
think it's a great pick though, man. I mean, he's a underrated edge rusher in this class. I think I'm surprised that you guys got him where you did. I thought he would have went higher.
yeah. Yeah, I think he would have if he was able to test, but
Yeah,
because he was dealing with that injury, he with the hamstring, he couldn't test. He couldn't run a 40. He couldn't work out at his pro day. So, but just based off of his Georgia game alone, I think he could have probably went earlier than what he went because
yeah, for sure.
although he didn't have like a quote unquote dominant game, he still was low key dominant. He blew up so many runs. He knocked Stetson Bennett off his spot so many times. And those who don't know, never watched Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, um, I don't want to say he's trash because he's not trash. He got drafted. He's in the NFL. But
Yeah, he got drafted fourth round.
yeah, fourth round. Godly.
Who
Fourth
would have thought?
round. Yeah, not me. Fourth round. But he's very timing oriented. He needs to go through, like, if it's a 3-step drop, he needs to get to this 3-step drop, and by the time his back foot hit on that third step, he needs to know where he's going with that football. Any deviation out of that is going to throw him off his game. And multiple times during that game, Zach Harrison threw him off because by the time he hit that back foot for that third step, Zach Harrison was damn near in his lap. Uh,
Yeah.
he handled Broderick Jones, a first rounder. He handled him pretty well. It was not like, oh, he's overpowered, he don't belong. No, he held his own and then some. So I'm very excited about that pick. I want to touch on Clark Phillips before we move on to New Orleans. I'm not going to spend too much time on the 7th round picks. All
Yeah.
out because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about him. I just know Helens was the team captain and he led the team in tackles. But I do know Clark Phillips, 9 career interceptions, 4 return for touchdowns. Ball hawk. Ball hawk. He
Yeah.
should have been a early 2nd round pick. But because of the NFL bias on small people, which I don't get because they just took a small person #1 overall and then everyone seems okay with it. But
It's Bryce Young.
that's fair. That's fair.
He's great.
Some would, if you can put stats and put the PFF grades of all corners in this draft, Clark Phillips has the best stats. He has the best tape.
Yeah.
Uh, he his ability to stay with a receiver, uh, and I get he don't have top end closing speed. No, he doesn't.
No.
But he has enough speed, folks. He's quick enough to stay with someone. I don't know if you watched the USC Utah game. The first time they played Jordan Addison, he kind of, he kind of had his way low key. But the second time they played, once he had the preparation, he had the tape, he knew what his tendency was, he knew what to expect, all that. He shut that man down. A
Mhm.
first round pick, he shut him down. And the year before that, when Drake London was in USC, he was giving Drake London the business. Drake London's 6'5".
Yeah.
My man is 5'9" with 29 in his arms. He is a dog, man. He got that mentality that you may think you think you're better than me because I'm 5'9". Okay, I'll show you. If you want to doubt me, line it up. Let's run it. Let's run it. I got him. I don't need help. Let's go man to man. Let's let the better man win.
Yep.
And that's all you can want out of a defensive back. He has inside, outside versatility. And that's the thing. For someone who's 5'9" with sub 30-inch arms, they played him on the outside, TJ. He didn't play in slot. He was an
Yeah.
outside corner. He was getting the #1 guys every game, and he was locking them down.
Yep.
So,
He was having a great year, man, and very underrated. I mean, Utah has consistently produced great defensive players, and they've always produced a great defense yearly at Utah. So I think it's a good pick
yeah.
and a little bit of a steal, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This Falcons secondary, folks, watch out. Just watch
Yep.
out. Okay. We got AJ Terrell, Jeff Okuda. We got my guy here, Clark Phillips. We got D Alford, who, if you don't know who D Alford is, he is a CFL. He was a CFL star, and Terry, because he has wandering eyes with the Canadian Football League, he always has an eye out for talent. He saw D Alford, brought him in, and D Alford is working out quite nicely. We have Darren Hall. Just watch out for the secondary, folks. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to, be hot takey and just throw stuff out there. But well, we'll do that in the season review. Yeah, at a later date. I'll give you my hot takes later, folks. So yeah, next up is let's do the Saints.
Yeah.
First round, pick 29. Saints took Brian Brzee, a player that we called, that we said, Brian Brzee, I hope you like crawfish, buddy, because you're a Saint.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
said
a
it.
lot of us predicted him to go to New Orleans months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh, Second round pick 40, Isaiah Foskey, Notre Dame. Pick 3 in third round, pick 71. Kendre Miller, TCU.
Great.
Uh yeah, great pick. Round 4, they took 2 players. They took Jake Hainer, quarterback out of Fresno State, and Nick Salvador. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, guy. Saldi Saldiveri, out of offensive tackle out of Old Dominion, versatile, play tackle, play guard. They took in the 5th round, they took Jordan Howden, uh, safety out of Minnesota, and rounding out with their last pick 195 in the 6th round. They took A.T. Perry, Wake Forest. First question, TJ, how in the hell did A.T. Perry last to the 6th round? How?
I don't know. I know people underrated his speed a little bit.
He ran a 4.4.
His route running. Um,
Hey, look, you 6'4",
he was
6'5".
inconsistent, is
He
is what I've
okay.
heard.
Okay, I'll give you
I
that.
don't I don't have really a analysis on him because I didn't watch him that much, but
Mhm.
I know he's good.
Yeah.
He was able to make plays on that offense when they don't really have a lot of playmakers.
He was the only one.
That's what
Him
I'm
and
saying. Like,
Sam Hartman. But do you honestly consider Sam Hartman a playmaker?
I mean,
I don't. Hey,
no,
look,
not really.
yeah, Winston's in, Wake Forest is in my backyard. I've seen him play.
Yeah,
A.T. Perry was when he was on the field, he was the best player on the field.
yeah. I mean, definitely the best player on their offense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that's not saying much. It's Wake Forest, and I know people might scoff at that, but I don't think he's as bad as he went. You said he went
Mm-hmm.
6th round, right?
6th round, pick 195.
Yeah, he should have went 4th round, I would say.
If someone would have picked him in the 3rd round, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
No, I mean
But
he's a good player. I
yeah,
don't think he's an elite receiver, but I do think he's a good receiver.
yeah. Because at this point, if you're 6'4", 6'5", and you run a 4.4, there's not a lot of those in this draft. Uh, and the one that it was got drafted in the 1st round. So you bet on traits. Like I don't get why people are knocking him because he's good in traffic. He comes up with tough catches. He plays the ball. He uses his size. I just don't get it. I read that they were saying like, oh, he had a bad attitude or not even a bad attitude. He's just reserved. He's not like outgoing, and I don't know why people are punishing him for that. You don't have to be a talkative guy to lead your team.
Especially at receiver.
Yeah, you let your play on the field do the talking.
Hmm.
And I think at this point, seeing what the Saints has currently in their wide receiver room, A.T. Perry is a big addition, and I would not be surprised if he has a major role in this offense.
Yeah, I can see it, especially in the red zone.
Hmm. Let's talk about another sleeper, man. Low key quarterback of the future, Jake Hainer, Fresno State.
I love that pick, man. He wasn't talked about enough through the draft process, but you look at where he's going and who he's playing behind. I think Derek Carr could be a huge asset to him, just from a mentor standpoint. Um, Jake Hayner reminds a lot of people of Taylor Heineke, and I can see it. He's a little feisty. People have mentioned Gardner Minshew esque with just how gritty he is as a quarterback. I think he has a lot of better. I think he has better arm talent than both of those guys,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Based off of what I've seen of him, I think obviously Fresno State is not a big college that people pay attention to. But if you did watch Fresno State games, you noticed how he had an ability to grasp, the huddle and really motivate his team to push through drives of 80 yards, almost 10-minute drives. I mean, he was their leader on offense for Fresno State, and I think he has the talent. I think he's him being young and sitting behind Derek Carr. I think he could be a huge asset to their future, potentially their next starter.
Would you care to hear a bit of a hot take?
What's that?
I don't think he's going to sit behind Derek Carr for long. I feel like if Derek Carr gets hurt, he will never see that starting job again. Well, no, I take that back. I
You think we
forgot.
got a Brock Purdy on our hands?
That's what Chris Sims is calling him. But I got to walk it back a little bit because I forgot they still got famous Jameis on the roster, man. So in the event that Derek Carr does get hurt, you know,
Nobody cares about famous Jameis.
hey, but yeah, so yeah, I gotta walk that back, folks. I'm sorry. You can call me a coward. I forgot about my boy Eat a W. You know what I'm saying? Uh, eat a W.
How
Eat
that
a
dub
W.
taste?
Yeah, eat a W.
How that
Uh,
dub?
oh
I
god.
think Jake Haener is a great pick, man. I almost forgot about him to be honest, because he wasn't talked about at all. Like when
Mhm.
you heard people talk about this quarterback class, I mean, even if you're talking outside the first round, you were always hearing about Hendon
Okay,
Hooker,
yeah,
he,
yeah.
those kind of guys.
Bro,
That
Tanner McKee damn near went undrafted, bro. he,
I
he,
know.
he was what did he go? Sixth or seventh round to Philly?
Yeah, sixth round.
Oh God. The brand took a bit of a hit there. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that
lie.
was your guy. That was
That was my guy.
your dude.
That
That
was
was
my
your
guy.
dude, man.
Yeah, I took an L, folks.
I told you. I told you he wasn't sniffing the first round. And not
Hey,
only was I right, but he didn't even get drafted in the first three rounds.
you can, folks, you can nominate me in the comments for the Down Bad Award. But
Trust
yeah,
me, you got a nomination.
yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah,
Don't worry. It's in your email.
yeah. God. All right. Yeah, let's dive into Bucks, man. The Bucks, now that I've had time to sit and let it linger on my spirit, and after seeing the rest of their draft picks, I don't think they had a bad draft. Kalijah Cansey, 19 overall, out of Pittsburgh, defensive tackle. Cody Mock, their next offensive guard, second round, pick 48, North Dakota State. This man, I'm not gonna lie, third round, pick 82, Yaya Diaby, Louisville. I gotta give you the shot, brother. I need to apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game, man. But after watching film, I am now, and I can see why Todd Bowles is super psyched to have him there. Big guy, 6'4", 260. He can run in the mid four or fives. Um, Big, strong, violent hands, quick off the ball, explosive, twitchy, everything that you would want uh in a edge rusher. Now, I will say the reason why he probably went third round is because while he's good at all those things, he's not great. And people try to search for greatness in the first and second round, but third round, I have no problem with him being there. And who knows, man? And by the time his contract is up, we're gonna say, how the hell did Yaya Diaby go third round? He should have went before that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it, man. He has good traits. He's got good size. And I think Todd Bowles could really do something with him as
Mhm.
long as he's consistent throughout training camp.
Yeah, uh, yeah, absolutely. Uh, Fifth round, I think they had a sneaky good fifth and sixth round, man. They took Sir, I don't know how to pronounce your name, boss. Dennis. So I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to jack it up. I'll just call you Sir Dennis out of Pittsburgh, linebacker. Who Todd Bowles is really, really excited about. So we'll see where that goes. It could be a potential Devin White replacement or Levante David. Um
Yeah.
Also Payne Durham, tight end out of Purdue, very slept on. Uh, he has the size and the the traits to be something in this league. Will he? That's up to him and coaching, but I'm not mad at that pick. Uh, Six rounder, pick 181, Josh Hayes, Kansas State. This next pick I want to talk about. Pick six, 191. Wide receiver Trey Palmer, Nebraska. You know, they lost speed
Yeah.
with Scotty Miller coming to Atlanta. They got that back and then some. Trey Palmer is a burner.
Yeah.
absolute burner.
And he had a good season this past year.
And yeah, I'm not psyched to have to deal with him. I wanted him on my team, if I'm being honest. He's a
Yeah.
real good player. 6 foot, 180, run 4 threes. You can't you can't teach that.
And he can't teach that.
Can't teach that,
I
man.
mean, he had over 1,000 yards this past season at Nebraska, and we all know Nebraska is not a very good football team.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he made the best of it. He was one of the best players on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he fell in the draft just because of his stats and where he played.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to blow you away every game. He was a little inconsistent at times. But when he's on, he's a really damn good receiver. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and a great pick in the sixth round. I mean, I really feel like this receiver class was very deep.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the fact that he went sixth round and I consider him to be a early day three pick, like I thought he would have went fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's that good.
I
I'm
think
not
so too.
saying, yeah, I'm not saying he's a future All Pro or anything, but I do think he's going to be a good receiver as long as he gets a chance.
Yeah. But
Uh,
also in that receiving core, I think he will push for playing time. I think right now he's probably like you can pencil him in as punt returner, kickoff returner, stuff like that. But I
yeah.
do think there's a place for him in that offense because,
Oh yeah.
while I do love Mike Evans, I love Chris Godwin and,
100%.
former Falcon, Russell Gage, they're not exactly burners. You
Nope.
need a field stretcher on your team, and that's what Trey Palmer can give you, and then some. So I really like that pick. And to round out their draft, they took Jose Ramirez, linebacker out of Eastern Michigan. Todd Bowles seemed to be really pumped. If you watch the draft, how they had the camera behind the scenes when they're making the draft pick, he seemed very very enthused about the defensive players that he picked up in this draft. He seems to have a plan for them. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want to see it, but we ain't got no choice. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it. It could work, it could not work. But yeah, I think they had a very solid draft. So I just want to give an apology to Ty Bowles, man. I was really hard on y'all. I said y'all draft sucked. It didn't suck. It wasn't the best. It
Yeah.
was it was it was okay.
I think they have a lot of pieces that they drafted where if they develop them properly, we could be saying the opposite a year from now.
Mhm.
We could be saying they had the best draft class in the NFC South. Do I think they're going to have the best draft class in the NFC South? No.
No, no.
But I think the people they brought in, they fit their scheme, they fit what they like to do, and it addressed some needs. I mean, like you just said yourself, they needed some speed on that offense, and Trey Palmer brings that.
Mhm.
Um, Kalijah Cansey, first round. I mean, great pick. I didn't necessarily agree with it at the time, but after thinking on it, it's a young piece to that defense. That defense did need to get younger in the front seven.
Mhm.
I mean, besides Devin White, everybody else is a little older in the tooth. Even Vita Vea, I mean, believe it or not, he's close to 30 years old now.
That's wild. That's wild to think about.
I know he's not there yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
And D linemen, they get wear and tear in their bodies from bullying each other along the lines of scrimmage. I mean, eventually you're gonna break down, and you need to have the depth to hold up. And I think
Mhm.
Cansey brings that. But I also think Cansey has the potential to be a Pro Bowler.
Oh yeah, they this draft. What it taught me about Tampa Bay is that they ain't trying to be bottom half of the league in sacks anymore. They're trying to bring juice around the edge through the middle, however they can by blitzing. Just four down line. They're trying to get to the quarterback, and I can respect that because
Yeah.
they had the talent last year. They just had the injuries, and like you said, they are getting older, so they need an infusion of youth to keep the old guys fresh and yeah, just get to a quarterback in a variety of ways that he can scheme up to trying to knock the rest of the NFC South off their pivot.
Yeah. And I'll say too, real quick, before we transition, I really feel like this draft, if you look at it for Tampa Bay, this really feels like Todd Bowles' first real draft where it was his stamp on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every pick just felt like a pick that he would make. I mean, not necessarily I don't mean that in an insulting way. I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like, Bruce Arians had his type of style and his players that he would take. And now Todd Bowles is putting his stamp with a real good, solid draft class of players that I think he could mold to be the
Mm-hmm.
future of the Bucks.
Yeah. Also, it just occurred to me we didn't give a draft grade for the rest of the three, so we'll start with
Oh yeah, sorry about
yeah,
that. We
no,
got
no,
a
yeah,
little.
yeah, we got sidetracked. See, this is how much we love this, man.
We start talking about football and we lose
Yeah,
track of
yeah.
what our
So
focus was.
yeah, so we'll start with this, and we'll double back with the Saints, and then round it out with my Falcons. So with this draft, it would have been a B plus, but the fact that they're moving Tristan Wirfs to left tackle,
Hmm?
which means they're gonna have Luke, what is his last name? Getke?
Guide key.
Gatke. Yeah, I know him. I just don't know how to pronounce it. I'm trying not to mess up people's name, folks, because
Yeah.
I know my name seems
I
simple,
want to
but
sound educated when I say his name.
yeah, I know my name seems simple, but you'll be surprised how many times people have jacked up my name. So I hate the feeling, and I'm trying to pronounce it right. But you got Luke Geike as your right tackle. That is not ideal.
Nope.
So
Nope.
for that, I gotta give him a B minus, man.
Yeah. I give him B minus two. I agree.
Okay. Saints. Some picks I love, some picks I don't. You know how I feel about Kendra Miller. You know how I feel about Brian Brzee. You know how I feel about A.T. Perry. I don't like Isaiah Foskey, man. I don't like it. I don't-
Yeah. I have a time with this one. I was anywhere from a C plus to a solid B.
Mm,
I'm not blown away by this draft class. Brian Brzee, yes, it's a great pick because they need depth along the D line, especially at D tackle. Uh,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he has injury concerns. People
Yeah.
are afraid whether or not he can hold up. I'm not that excited about this class. And the more I think about it, even the Kendra Miller pick is kind of confusing. I mean, I know we don't know the future for Alvin Kamara, but you can get running backs in later rounds. I mean, this running back
Except for
class.
Bijan, except for Bijan, folks. There is only one Bijan, and
Okay.
yeah,
I'm just saying, my point is this running back class was very deep, and the fact that they
yeah,
took Kendra Miller in what, the third round,
yeah,
I don't understand that. Like,
yeah,
why are you using a third round pick on a running back? That
yeah,
wasn't your biggest need.
yeah.
And I
I
get it, you don't draft off a need. Sometimes you just draft the BPA. But are you really going to convince me that Kendra Miller was the best player on the board at that time? Third round was loaded.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I I'm gonna give him a C plus.
yeah,
I'm not. The more I think about it, I've convinced myself I'm not that excited about this draft class for them.
yeah. I'm gonna give him a B minus, because, like you said, there were better players available. I love Kendra Miller, man. I love him.
I do too. I just don't think it makes sense for
Uh,
them to take him.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. And getting A.T. Perry where they got him tremendous value. And sneaky like Jake Hayner. So yeah, B minus. It could have been better. Rounded out with my Falcons, folks. I know you probably think I'm gonna say A plus or A. You'd be correct. I'm gonna give us an A minus. Because the only reason why I'm giving us an A minus, I would love to see us draft a receiver. Because our receiver core as it stands right now is Mac Hollins, Drake London, Jared Bernhardt, Scotty Miller, and who's of scrubs. So I was
It reminds me, like I know Arthur Smith's your coach.
mm,
It reminds me of the old days in Tennessee
mm,
before AJ Brown.
yeah,
That's what this
Yeah,
reminds me of.
yeah, uh, yeah.
And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean
No, no,
like
no.
besides Drake London, nobody in your receiving core really scares me. Just receivers. I'm not talking tight ends. I mean,
Yeah,
tight ends is a different section.
yeah,
I have good tight ends.
yeah. Now, I'm the reason why I'm gonna push back a little bit on that because, and I have to remind myself this too because I forget it all the time. In this scheme, in Arthur Smith's scheme, we just need to start looking at Kyle Pitts as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He plays out wide a lot, and I think one of the reasons why we traded for Jonnu Smith is specifically so we can line Kyle Pitts up outside, and we'll
Mhm.
still have a receiving threat lined up inside. So uh, I still think we're gonna add to the receiving room. Looking at you, Corey Davis, come on home, brother. You know, you enjoyed your greatest statistical seasons with your boy, with Artie Smith. So why not replicate that,
True.
man? Come to the A, baby. You'll
That's
love
true.
it here. You'll love it here. I'm telling you. But yeah, I give us an A minus, man. I think we got three starters right now, borderline four, seeing how quickly Zach Harrison develops. But yeah, that's all you can ask for.
So I gave the Saints a C plus. I gave the Bucks a B. Right? I think I said B.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say B now. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
B to the Bucks. I gave my Panthers an A, a solid A.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go A minus for the Falcons. I love your first round pick. I know some people don't agree with it, but if you are smart and you know college football, you will know that Bijan Robinson was one of the very few blue chip prospects in this draft. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say blue chip, I mean guaranteed gonna be a stud.
Yeah. No bust potential, folks.
Yeah. It's rare that you get those kind of guys. I mean, you can go back and look. You had Christian McCaffrey, you had Saquon Barkley. I mean,
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, Jamar Chase. You can
Yeah.
list receivers and running backs that were just blue chip prospects from the moment you seen them in college to the moment you seen them in the draft. And Bijan is that. Just because you didn't watch Texas doesn't mean he ain't great.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to scoff at him as a Falcon, although I don't like his choice of jersey number. He could have
Hey,
chosen
let's go. Let's go. Seven, baby. Set
seven.
7 for 7. Let's go. Let's go. Look,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think him being your first round pick set the tone for your draft. Was the rest of your draft like exceptional? No, but you made really solid like picks. Like I can't say you had a awful pick. I like the Phillips pick. I obviously already said I like the Zach Harrison pick.
mhm.
Um, who was the other guy y'all took?
Bergeron.
Yes, Bergeron from Syracuse. I like that too. So I'm gonna give you A minus. Um, only reason I'm not giving you an A like the Panthers is because I feel like receiver was one of your needs and you didn't address it. That's my only concern. You did address the defensive line, you addressed the offensive line, you addressed running back, you addressed your secondary. You added more depth to your secondary. But to me, your biggest need going into this draft was wide receiver because besides Drake London, nobody really scares you. And you guys failed to address that in the first and second round, and it's a little confusing, but I understand who's in charge because Arthur Smith came from Tennessee. What did they
Mhm.
always do in Tennessee? They ran the rock,
Mhm.
play action. Hit a receiver here, hit a receiver here. But 9 times out of 10, it's 20 to 25 passes a game, and the rest of it is running. You're running anywhere from 35 carries a game to 45 carries a game
Mhm.
on offense with your running game, and that's why y'all drafted Bijan. And I get it, but this receiving class, like I said about the Saints and about the Bucks, it was a deep class, and you guys didn't take a receiver. I don't understand that.
Well, I will say this, like we talked about. while the receiving class, this receiver class was deep with like serviceable guys. There were maybe four exceptional guys, maybe like guys that you look at, you go, all right, yeah, he's gonna be it. He's gonna be the guy. Like Zay Flowers, JSN, Addison, and maybe Quentin Johnson. If you put him in there, you can. I'm not gonna.
Some people will argue Mingo.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like outside of those guys, but
I like Josh Downs.
yeah, I do too. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna cap. I was trying to find a reason. I was like, nah, I do
I'm
like
just
him.
saying, man. You could argue there was 6 receivers in this class that are worth a day one or day two pick.
Yeah, but only two fit the scheme, Mingo and Johnson. So we ain't gonna get it. But
Yeah,
it's gonna
I
be
mean,
hey brother. It's
goes
gonna
in old Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? In
hey,
that Carolina blue, he changed out one shade of blue for another shade of blue. But
that's true. He did. But uh it didn't
you
work
know,
out. It didn't work out for the first guy who came from Ole Miss. So, let's pump it, we may pull one out for you, Matt Corral. We just don't know yet.
man, leave Matt Corral alone, man. He's
yeah,
doing good. He's
yeah.
showing up to camp. He's competing. I'm hearing he has a chance to compete for the day one job.
Hell no. Nope. Job for what? They threw a parade for Bryce Young. There's no
Anybody
chance.
who's watching this video and was a slight Matt Corral fan, you jumped up a little bit in your seat when you heard that. You're like, oh, Matt Corral's got a chance. Really don't have a
Hell
chance.
nah.
But
There's no shot.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. He ain't getting the starting job.
Hey,
Andy Dalton will start before he'll
yeah.
start.
Hey, Matt Corral is one bad preseason away from playing for the Columbus Rough Riders in the XFL. So, yeah, let's put.
And don't get me wrong, I like Matt Corral. I like him a lot, but I
you,
like Bryce Young better.
yeah, you traded
Bryce Young
all.
is going to be Bryce Young is going to be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFC this year. Book it, book it,
Oh
book
my
it.
god! Oh my god! Oh
Let
my
me let me ask the fans of this podcast, and you can
god!
comment on this video. I wanted to make an episode of this, but Cory's trying to detain me and
Oh my
restrain me.
god!
He's
Hey
trying to
man!
restrict me from the people.
Hey man!
Let me hear my fans out there. Let me hear you loud and proud. In your head, can you think of 10? There's 16 teams in the NFC. Can you think of 10 quarterbacks in the NFC that will be better week one, talent wise, just overall talent on the field than Bryce Young? Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
The,
We're
the
not.
Bryce effect is here.
Bryce Mania is.
Bryce the Mania is running wild, Cory.
Well, folks, I can't think of a better segue to while the Panthers are flying high, some teams, some players are flying low. So this brings us to another installment of the Pour One Out Awards. Man. We're gonna pour one out for you.
Oh yeah.
You know, uh
I
it's with
thought
it.
about this.
I thought about it too.
It's a
Um,
tough one.
yeah.
It's a
For
tough week. Usually it's easy the first few episodes to pour one out, but
Yeah, it was, but until I got on Twitter today and I saw what I saw, this makes it an easy decision. Uh Antonio Brown, I'm gonna pour one out for you, and I will pour one out for your Arena Football League team, and I'm gonna pour one out for the players on that team. Folks, if you haven't heard, Antonio Brown bought a indoor arena football team. Uh
I didn't know
and
this.
yeah, and since he bought that team, he hasn't paid the players. He hasn't paid the coaching staff. He had some of the coaching staff and some of the players banned from the team hotels. He made a list saying, "Do not let these players in." The head coach quit. The league MVP has quit, and yeah, he hasn't paid his players.
I didn't know this.
who 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 sold a team to Antonio Brown?
Why would you sell your team to Antonio Brown?
Why would you work for Antonio Brown as well? I don't. When I saw that, the I was, it's with AB, nothing surprises you anymore. Like when you see,
Dude
you
is
know,
he begs for attention.
I honestly thought, him taking his pads off and running down the jet sideline and waving to the fans was probably the most out there thing that I'm going to see Antonio Brown do. And Antonio Brown literally said, "Hold my beer. I'm
I'm
gonna,
gonna one up you. You thought that
yeah,
was bad? Wait till you
yeah,
see this.
yeah. Look at me. I'm pulling my wee wee out in a pool with a pool full of white
Hot
women.
tub.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why, why, why?
And then he tried to make draft weekend about him last week, saying that he was going to the Ravens. Let's flock, Ravens, flock. I was about to curse, but I'm sorry. Nobody wants you in their locker room.
Yeah,
Let's get on it. We're gonna pour one out for Antonio Brown, but let me say
yeah.
something.
Okay, let's go.
Mike Tomlin is looking like the smartest man in the damn room.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he got traded from the Steelers to the Raiders, what, 3, 4 years ago,
Yeah,
all of us were like standing up in our seats and we're like, oh my God, they got rid of Antonio Brown. What are they doing?
yeah. We didn't know because
We didn't know
they
that
held it.
Antonio Brown was insane.
Yeah, they kept the tight ship around Pittsburgh. Nothing got out, but the moment he went to Vegas, the moment everything came out. Oh,
Yeah.
I burnt my feet in a cryogenic a cryogenic chamber. I got severe frostbite. I don't want to wear your helmet, so I'm going to get my own. I'm gonna take my old Pittsburgh helmet, spray painted silver and black, and you're not gonna notice. Oh, I'm gonna have a talk with my coach and my GM, and I'm gonna call them crackers, and I'm gonna quit the team. Yeah, so yeah, we pouring one out for Antonio Brown. We're pouring one out for his arena football team, his indoor league. I don't know the name of the team. I probably should have researched that, but also you're not getting paid. You got bigger fish to fry. All right,
Who
get,
cares?
yeah.
It
Who
was Antonio
cares?
Brown. I could care less about him.
Yeah, get your money, man. Shout out that team, which also leads us to another. It's the Down Bad Award. We're gonna give another award away, man. Do you have any suggestion for your Down Bad Award?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I mean, there's so many situations out there you could say. I mean, at one point we were talking Ravens fans like weeks ago, and
Yeah,
now they're looking pretty
yeah,
good.
they up now.
They up now. They up in there.
Up now.
They in the suite. They
Yeah,
in the suite section.
we're gonna have to we're gonna have to rescind their down bad award. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ravens fans. Sometimes I don't know what I'm
I,
talking about.
I, I
I still stand by it. They shouldn't have gave Odell that money, but
yeah. I'm gonna say Packers fans, man,
Ooh, Packers fans. Yeah.
because you drafted Jordan Love in the first round 4 years ago. You just gave him a 1 year extension because it's cheaper than the 5th year option,
Hmm.
and you have no clue about your future right now.
No, no. Hey, but they
You,
drafted two tight ends.
I mean, is this a fair assessment? I'm gonna say this
Uh,
week's down bad award is Packers fans because not because they're in a bad spot, but more so they don't know their future, and I know how that feels. As a Panthers fan, we have been in the bottom of the barrel since 2018, 2017. So about
yeah.
6 years. I know you're down bad.
Yeah.
And it's okay though. In the last 30 years, you've had two quarterbacks. Carolina's had way more than that.
Yeah. And you got a Super Bowl, so I don't give a damn about y'all. Y'all, yeah, enjoy the bottom, okay?
But
Enjoy the bottom. We've been there.
To the Packers standard, they don't know what they have in Jordan Love. He's not a guarantee. He was a late first round pick. And I get it. Aaron Rodgers fell to the 20s, and y'all drafted Aaron Rodgers. But not everybody is an Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre.
Hey, they drafted Clifford in the fourth round.
Did they? I
I
forgot
think
about
they,
that.
I think they did. Sean Clifford, man.
Oh no. Oh no.
QB1, Sean Clifford, Penn State, man. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, he beat out.
Let me flip this for a
He
second.
beat
Now
out.
that I think about it.
He
Now,
beat
now
out
that I
Will
think about it.
Levis. He beat out Will Levis. Will Levis couldn't beat him
True, he
out,
did.
and he had to transfer.
Let me say this. Let me twist this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are Packers fans down bad because they don't know the certainty of their future at
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, but Jordan Love, you're down bad right now. You're good because you're the starter as of right now, and you're gonna be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
But man, do you have huge shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. You don't have a long-term deal in Green Bay right now. He's on a short-term prove it deal, and you're replacing Aaron frickin' Rodgers. And you can say what you want about his character, but Aaron Rodgers is going to go down in history
It's the
as
greatest Packer ever.
the greatest Packer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So my down bad award is not just to the city of Green Bay, but more specifically Jordan Love. Because my friend, I don't envy you. I would not want to have to fill the shoes of Aaron Rodgers, who's been there for the last, what, 18 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know the exact number, but I'm just spitballing here. Regardless of how many years it is, I know it's over 15.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is, you're replacing Aaron Rodgers and you don't even have a long term deal in place. You were drafted in the first round 4 years ago, and they don't know what they have in you, and you don't know what you're going to do. Let's
Yeah.
let's give a down bad award to Jordan Love
Okay.
and
Yeah.
the city of Green Bay.
Yeah. City of Green Bay. Yeah.
This is a package deal.
This
City of
is
Green Bay
yeah.
and the love of Jordan.
Yeah.
They're just
It's a two-part down bad award. It's a
two-part down bad award. That's my down bad award of the week, man. I feel like that's true love. True love.
no pun intended. Yeah. uh, so I'm gonna need a little bit of a moment for my down bad award. Um,
Oh man.
I've been seeing it and I've been wanting to comment on it, but I haven't. But now I have the forum. So this week's down bad award goes out to the University of Georgia fans. Yeah, that's right. I'm giving you the down bad award, okay? And we're gonna talk about why. On Thursday, last Thursday, the Atlanta Falcons took Bijan Robinson with the 8 pick, leaving Jalen Carter still on the board. Georgia fans could not handle this. They were saying, "Oh, our team is so stupid. Oh my God, why would we leave him on the board? We never take any dogs. We the best university in the league." And wham, 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 wham. Okay, I like Jalen Carter too. He was probably the best player in the draft. But you know what? He was either directly or indirectly responsible for two people dying. That takes him off of a lot of people's draft boards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And also his own coaches label him as immature. They said that he has a lot of growing up to do. They said he is not self-motivating and that sometimes he take plays off and he don't practice as hard as he should or in his playbook as hard as he should. Why would you want your hometown team, supposedly that you all root for, supposedly, because I don't think any Georgia fans are Atlanta fans, if I'm being honest. But why would you want your team to take that type of risk? Because that's what it is. While he is talented, he is a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want that? So that's not the main reason why I'm giving them the down bad award, TJ. I don't know if you saw this, but there's been a lot of people who are Georgia fans who are now, saying that they now are Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Mm.
They said they got Jordan Davis, and they got N'Kobe Dean, who both of them made a whopping 3 starts last year. Uh, they said, oh, they got Nolan Smith, they got Jalen Carter, oh, they got Keely Ringo, who's getting beat like a damn drum in that national championship game. Well, the college football playoffs,
Marvin Harrison Jr. was burning that dude.
whooping them, whooping them,
Every play.
whooping them.
If he wouldn't have went down, they would have won.
Yeah, he had
Marvin
no.
Harrison went down in that game. If you watch it, if he wouldn't have went down with that injury, Ohio State would have won that game.
They had no answer for him.
No, they didn't.
But because a team took all their the Georgia players and they're saying, oh, and they just traded for DeAndre Swift, who
Injury prone.
injury prone, lost
He's
the
proven it the last 3 years.
yeah, lost the faith of their coaching staff, and let's be honest, they gave him up for a bag of beans. They didn't get all they could out of him. They just wanted him off their team.
Yeah.
So
Along with Dan Campbell.
yeah. So not only are these Georgia fans saying they're going to go to Philly and root for them, but they're also making disparaging comments about our front office, about our fans, about everything Atlanta Falcon. And I just want to say this, and I'm gonna say it with my whole chest. Philly ain't winning the Super Bowl this year, folks. It ain't happening. It's not happening. And once you realize that, I want you to stay y'all asses where y'all at. Don't come back over here when you see what we got going on. You made your choice. You stay over there. You with the Philly dogs. You with the Philly dogs. The Florida, the Philly, what they call them, the Philly Georgia Eagle dog. You stay over there.
Yeah,
You stay with
the
them.
dogs, the Philly Dogs, the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
You stay with them. And when Jordan Love, I mean not Jordan Love, I'm sorry, previous down bad winner. Uh, when Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are on the sideline on third down because they're gassed, then you get back to me. When they're running the ball directly at N'Kobe Dean, who was 5'11", 225 pounds, and Nolan Smith, who was 6'2", 225 pounds, and they're getting blown off the ball by by Trent Williams and the rest of the 49ers offensive line, then get back to me, folks. I'm not saying they're not good players. They just didn't fit our scheme. And I don't understand why the Georgia fans can't accept that. I don't want to say that they're stupid, but I will say that you are stupid. So
I always say, and we've said this before on previous podcasts, and even when we talk on the phone, draft picks. Just because I was great in college doesn't mean I'm going to be great in the NFL.
mm-hmm.
Just because I made a name for myself in the Athens, Georgia, doesn't mean I need to go to Atlanta and continue that legacy.
Mm-hmm.
The hype behind the Eagles, who just lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, and I get it. They've reloaded for another season. Yeah, sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the kind of person that says, let's wait and see. Because yeah, on paper, they are a hell of a roster, but we all know in previous seasons, the team with the best roster didn't always win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Buffalo had a great roster last year. Where were they at? Cincinnati had a great roster. Where were they at?
The Patriots that went 17-0
mm-hmm.
and lost to the Giants.
The Cowboys last year had one of the best rosters in the NFL. Where were they at? They were all watching the Super Bowl on the couch just like the rest of us, folks. And that's all I'm saying. You wanna switch sides, you can switch sides, but don't come back when you see what we got going on.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with people having their opinions on the draft class of the Eagles and all the Georgia Bulldogs are there, blah 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 blah. But let's pump the brakes a little bit on crowning their asses before they even played a damn game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand that. People will do that every season, and then come week 10, well, half the roster's on the injured list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the Eagles. I'm just saying in general. Like,
Yeah.
let's stop hyping these teams up. Like, we haven't even played a game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to week one, and then we'll talk after that.
Yeah. And
Teams are played on the field, not on the roster.
it
This ain't
it yeah, it just really grinds my gears when because you're not a Falcons fan, so you don't see it. It's every freaking year. They were saying that we should have drafted Stetson Bennett because is a two-time national championship winner. Stetson Bennett.
Remember, I said when Deshaun Watson was available for trade last year, I said, "Oh, he should come to Carolina because he played at Clemson." That's a dumb reason to want somebody.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because he went to your local college or whatever, like
It's
doesn't mean
stupid. It's so
he
stupid,
doesn't have an
man.
affiliation.
It's
Next
so
year,
stupid.
I guarantee you, people are going to associate the LA Rams and Caleb Williams.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, they're setting themselves up nicely for it because
They did, but that's beside the point.
they set themselves
You're,
up nicely. They have
I,
full take mode. They take it, Jack.
I'm just saying, don't sleep on Drake May.
Yeah, I like Drake May.
I love Drake May.
Like I said, and we'll probably talk about it on another.
Arguably, he could be better.
Ooh, let's not go there.
I'm not going to go there yet, but I'm just saying.
I think it's
I'm
more.
just saying. People are sleeping on him because he plays at UNC.
I think it's more of a pick your poison type. Like you want the 6'5" quarterback with the bigger body who can move on the run, or do you want someone who can create off structure? Who not small. He's 6'1", 6'2", but he's smaller than Drake May. But that's another topic we'll get into because I got 6 quarterbacks that could go in the first round on my draft board. So we'll talk about it on a later date. But yeah, this week's down bad award. Uh,
For
for
you
me
is
is
for the state of Georgia.
Bulldog fans. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't tell you what I want to tell you because we're trying to be PG around here. But yeah, stay where you at. Don't come back.
don't come back.
When you see
Keep
B
your
John,
tail
yeah,
away.
when you see B John is the runaway rookie of the year, don't come back. Stay over there with your Eagle dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, best of luck to you. But
Uh, I would like to see some comments on this video. If you stayed to the very end, I have a topic for the season going into the season. Do our fans, our subscribers, want us to do a video on the future fantasy football season?
ooh, well, I don't think they have a choice. We're gonna do that anyway. That's a good topic because we got a lot of guys on in the NFC South who is gonna make some noise in fantasy. So yeah. Sorry, folks. We're gonna trump you on that. We're gonna give it to you anyway. We don't give a damn what you want. We're gonna do it, folks. But yeah, I think now's a good time to get out of here before we both get too worked up talking about these fair weather fans.
Yeah,
Uh,
not even week one.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's gonna be a long season, but it's gonna be glorious. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
glorious.
great. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had this much like fulfillment coming towards a season in a while since Cam was our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Carolina's in a good spot. I feel like Atlanta's in a good spot.
Yep.
We're gonna let the games play out how they may.
Yep. Anything you gotta say to the folks before we get up out of here, my guy?
Like, subscribe, comment below, give us ideas, tell us how you feel, tell us your thoughts. Hit us up on social media. If you're not following us on social media, find us on Instagram, find us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Help us spread the channel. I want to reach everybody.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Like Dion said, we ain't hard to find, folks. Just
Yeah,
type
we
in
ain't hard to
Kings of the
find,
South.
man.
Just type in Kings of the South podcast. We'll pop up, guys. All right.
We working hard to build this brand, man, and we appreciate all the love that we can get.
Oh yeah, most definitely. As always, that's your boy TJ right there. I'm your man Cory. We appreciate y'all for watching and sticking with us, and hope to see you again soon.
Peace.